Hey, all right, friends. Well, we're getting pretty close to Christmas, aren't we, huh? I know. Christmas of what? 2017. And I was just thinking, I don't a lot of times I do these blurps early in the morning so I can get them downloaded well. And I was laying in bed and I was thinking Christmas, Christmas. Gosh, as a kid, what was the greatest Christmas gift I ever got? From a kid's standpoint. And from a kid's point of view. And I actually I didn't have to think long. I remember, gosh, it was Christmas of. Although my brother and I always did very well. Santa treated us just fine, and the folks too. Oh man, and all the relatives. Oh, we did very well. Christmas. Excuse me, my microphone's okay. It's yeah, the wires. I should have untangled them. Okay. So, yeah, the folks, they were always very good to us. And I remember, I think it was Christmas of 1958. 1958, of course, morning came. It was, of course, Christmas, if it was a school day, we'd sleep in, but as best we could. But it was Christmas, so we were up by, oh gosh, probably 5 o'clock in the morning, screaming and yelling for the folks to get out of bed, and we, and they'd say, "Well, go ahead, you go down. We're getting into our our bathrobes and stuff." And okay, so I remember climbing down the steps, my brother and I, Ed, and there in the dim light of the morning light coming in through the windows of our living room with the tree, in the all decorated up nice. There was this most beautiful bicycle I think I've ever seen, up to even this day. I mean, I know bicycles are pretty cool and are highly advanced now and all that, but nah, this was the best bike ever. It was a 1958 Sears and Roebuck J.C. Higgins Flightliner. It was perhaps the prettiest bike. Oh, God, there it was taking on the sun's morning rays. Yep, and and it just couldn't have been more beautiful. The darn it had let's see. Well, it was a boy's bike. It had this. You could look it up. 58 Flightliner, Sears Roebuck, yeah, J.C. Higgins, and you'll see what I mean. Candy apple red frame. Okay, candy apple. Yes, beautiful red frame to it. It had chrome, and I think just beautiful chrome fenders, like you'd see on a '58 Chevy's bumper. Yeah, it was that chromed, that kind of chrome. It had in back. It had, oh gosh, it had one of these. It had like a rack where you could put your books or your newspapers or whatever you were hauling. Yeah, it was like a spring-loaded rack. Let's see. There were the handlebars were solid chrome. The hand grips, candy apple red. Oh yes, yes. It had a tank that looked almost like it belonged in a car. Yeah, from the seat up to the front. Yeah, the front pin on the over the front wheel. It was like this white cream colored, very ultra modern for 1958. Very dated now if you take a look at it. That it was a tank that had your horn. Yes, there was a button for your horn right there on the tank. Anyone got in your way, you and it had dual headlights like the cars did all of a sudden back then. Yeah, no single headlight. Man, I could ride all night long with that. It took D batteries. You had to figure out how to get them in there, but once you did, it had forward gears. Yeah, forward gears. You had, whereas most kids back then had just, one gear, grunt. This one had low gear. And then when you got it going on low gear, all you do, you got up when you felt you had the right speed there, your legs would tell you, you just switch to second gear and then look out. Off you go. in high gear, of course. And then if you hit a big hill, well, you just switch back to low gear and you went up sitting down. Yep, no standing up for you trying to pedal to your tongue hung out. It was, yeah, it was, oh man, was that some bike. Oh, white sidewalls, of course. Huh, it goes without saying. And I remember I'm digging that bike, looking it over, and the folks finally came down, and man, I wanted to take it out for a ride already. I was so, somewhere I think there might be a picture of me with that bike. I don't know. There might be. I'll have to look, see if we can find it. And you can see it in, I'm sure you can Google it and find it easy enough. It didn't take, it took me maybe 5-10 minutes, so you'll find it a whole lot faster. Let's see what else. And it was a beautiful day that particular Christmas, so of course I took it out for a spin. Yep, and I think I had streamers too coming out of the handlebars, out of the hand grips. Yep. Oh, what else about it? Big wide. Oh, and the ride was so nice. Gosh, I took it down to the schoolyard. We had nice blacktop there, and I was just getting used to it, trying the no hands thing. And yeah, it was a sign of a good bike if you could ride it, without feeling too scared. If you could ride it no hands. And I had that bike. I'll tell you the truth. I had that bike and was proud of it right up till around sophomore year of high school. Yeah. It was just a humdinger. I don't know what they're worth now if you could find one, but I would think a lot in good condition. And maybe they're making them again. I don't know, but boy, what a bike! What a bike! And I'd take it to my friends would see it, and they'd, of course, they all had to take it for a spin. They were careful. They were careful. They knew a good thing when they saw it. I know though, when the folks came down, my father said, he says, there's a note attached to that bike. I said, what? He says, yeah. He says, you just take a look at let me explain. He says, I don't want you to get the wrong idea, but that bike was $50. You know how, $50. And I said, didn't Santa bring it? He says, no, Santa didn't. No, he said, it's a gift from your mom and me. There's other stuff from Santa. I said, okay. He says, but you remember that deal we made? If we got you a nice bike for your paper route, you were going to have to help pay it off. I think my father was trying to show me that, you have to learn to pay your debts. He says, now we figure you owe us about $25. We'll pay half that, and you got to pay us back. So it's 50 cents a week for a year. It's 50 cents a week. My God. He says, you got a paper route, sell a few more papers, you got it. I said, yeah, I guess you're right. And it was funny. I kind of got into paying off the bike. It was, yeah, I'd hand mom 50 cents every Friday, and and we'd mark it in we had like a little sheet of paper. We'd mark it down there. I only owe $23.50. Oh my God. But we did it. And in a way that was a gift too. The folks showing me a little bit of reality. And I gotta say that was except for an MG, and what was it? I think it was a 60 MG, something like that. Other than that, I don't think I've ever had a better vehicle in my life. I mean, I love my vans and all, but they ain't a 58 J.C. Higgins Flightliner. You know what I mean? Yeah, the van's nice, but boy. I'll tell you, and we went everywhere on that bike and me. In fact, I think we did some of my longest bike hikes on that thing. Yep, I actually drove from Chester all the way out, well past Califon to the reservoir out there. Yeah, did it in, I don't know, about 2 hours. Yeah, not bad. Stuff like that. Oh, and on the hills, it was such a joy because Chester was on a hill. The town we lived in, it was easy leaving town. It was downhill any direction you picked, pretty much. But boy, coming back, so it was nice to shift into that low gear and right up the hill. Yep. And I kept. I know my father pointed out, you better wax that bike. Get a little Simonize on it, and that kept the chrome good for till I guess eventually the bike. I don't know. I went away, into college and all, and I guess the bike The bike just sat in the chicken coop and eventually got thrown out. Sort of a shame. It was a sweet little bike. Anyway, Merry Christmas soon, and maybe you'll get your version of a Flightliner. And what are bikes now? About $1 million? Yeah, $50. $50. Yeah, of course, $50 was quite a lot of money. What could you get for 50 cents back then? Let me think. Oh, well, you could get, if you made the right deal, you could get about 150 sticks of red licorice. I ought to know. You certainly could get 100. Yeah. Anyway, hey, that's a wrap. We'll see you later. God bless, friends, and thank you. Bye now.